In this video, we're going to create our very first Java program using Eclipse. I'm going to start Eclipse. That may be in the Start menu if you're in the Tech Center, or you did the last step in the installation video, or it may be in whatever folder you saved Eclipse. When Eclipse starts, it'll ask you to choose a workspace. That's where all your files, everything for the program end up. And if you're on campus, I really encourage you to use the N-Drive. It'll be available on every campus computer, and it will get backed up by Dominican. If you're at home, you may want to put this in My Documents or something like that. I'm going to choose my Computer Science 155 folder, and then I'm going to make a subfolder called Code so that other files and things I need for 155 can be in the main folder, and just the programs will go in the code folder. If you're only ever going to use this folder to write programs, you can check this box and never choose this again, or if you leave it unchecked, it'll just pop up every time you start Eclipse, but it will have what you typed in there last time up and available. I'm going to click OK. And as soon as Eclipse starts up, it's going to give me a little welcome screen. I'm going to click the arrow in the top right of that and go to what's called the workbench. I'm going to make this big. And the first step is to create a new project. Every time you create a new program, you're going to create a new project to put that program in. So I will go to File, New, and Java Project. That Java is really important. If I choose Project, it's not going to run correctly the way I want. I want to make sure I choose File, New, and Java Project. I'll give the project a name up at the top. I'm going to call this Hello World, and choose Finish. And then I need to add a class. A class is where the code, the text that tells the computer what to do, where that goes. I can right-click, do right-click, do New and Class, or I can go up to File, New, and Class. Either one will do the same thing. I need to give it a name. I can call this Hello World also. And I need to make sure this public static void main is checked. The main method is the main thing that the program runs, and we want it to just write it for us. I'm going to click Finish. Before we write any code, let's look around Eclipse for a second. On the left, we have our Package Explorer. We see at the top Hello World, that's the name of our project, and when we have multiple projects, they'll all be listed underneath here. Underneath that is our source folder, that's where our code goes. And for right now, it's always going to be in a default package. These arrows can always get clicked and unclicked, so if you need to hide something, you can use the arrows next to them. Inside of that default package is our Hello World class. That's what we created in that second step, creating a class. And that's where our code goes. I can double click on it. It was already open here, but if it gets closed, that'll open it back up. And this class is in the main editor window over here. We can have multiple tabs like a browser, so if we're working on multiple files at the same time, we can go back and forth easily. This, because we chose that main method, we checked that checkbox, has already written some code here for us. It has said this is a class, it's told Java that, and then it's written this main method for us. Everything we write as a program for right now is going to go inside the main method. Those two little slashes are called a comment. That means this line is going to be ignored. It's just a comment for us to read. Let's delete that though and write in real code. I'm going to write system.out.println and then parentheses here. This is a method or a function. What it does is it tells Java to do something. System.out.println tells Java to print something on the screen. Then I've got to give it, what do I want it to print out? That's going to go inside the parentheses. And the traditional first program for people to write is called Hello World. We're just going to print those words out on the screen. I want the actual words to print out, so I'm going to use quotes there. The last thing I need is a semicolon. A semicolon is a way of telling Java this instruction is done. And a semicolon is directly to the left of Enter, 2 keys over, if you're not used to typing that in. That's it. That's our whole program. Let's run it. I'm going to go over here and click on the little play button. There's a play button with what looks like a suitcase. We don't want that. we want the play button just by itself. And I'm going to click Run. It'll ask me to save it. I forgot to save it beforehand, so I'll click OK. If I've already saved the file, it won't ask me to do that. And then the program runs. It's showing up its output at the bottom, and it did exactly what we asked it to do. It displayed the text "Hello World" down at the bottom. But what happens if I made a mistake? Let's say I forgot the T in print line. Well, as soon as I do that, you'll notice a little error comes up. There's little red squigglies right under print line, a light bulb with a red X over it, and a little red box over on the right side, all highlighting the same fact. There's an error right here. If I try to run the program, because I don't notice this, it'll also, once I save it, tell me there's an error in my project. Do I want to proceed with launching the program? There's really no point. The program has a problem and it's not really going to do anything I want it to at the bottom. So instead I'll go up here, type in that T, and as soon as I do that, you'll notice things start to fade over on the left and the right side, and the red squigglies went away. I'm going to save my program. You can hit Control S or go to File and Save. And now I can run it and it's back.